Hey everybody, here are some tips and tricks for getting started with GoFormative. Once you've created your account, you're going to want to go to Classes, and then you're going to want to click New Class and name your class. And then it's going to ask you to pick a color and then click Create Class. It's going to generate a code over on the side, and that's the code that your students are going to type in to join your class as soon as you've set up your account. All students already have an account, and their username, if they're in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, their username is their lunch number and their password will be 1234. So they can log in and then type in your class code to join your class very simply. So once you've set up your class, the next step is to go back to Formatives, and you're going to create a new formative. You'll want to click where it says Untitled Formative, and that's where you're going to give it a name. So one thing I like to do with the formatives is, if it's for math stations, I like to add a YouTube video that the students can watch in order to kind of review that skill before they practice. So to do that, the first thing you're going to do is click this plus button and then pick which kind of question you want. So I actually want to embed a video, so I'm going to click here, Video. And then it makes it real easy, since Google is connected with YouTube, to just post the link and it will embed it for you. So once you're in YouTube, you can find the video that you want. So my students need practice with comparing fractions. So to get the link for that video, you're going to click Share down here and then copy the link that it provides for you and come back to your GoFormative and just paste the link here, and it will generate the video for you for your students to watch. And I'm going to add another one because this is just comparing fractions with the same numerator, so I'm going to add one more video. So I'll click the plus button again. So here's my 2 videos that my students can watch if they need a little review for this skill before they start their lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and add a question. I like to make the questions either short answer or multiple selection. I learned pretty quickly that if you make a multiple choice question, students will just click through until they find if the answer is A, B, C, or D by submitting and going again and again to see if they got it right or wrong. So let's do a short answer. So you want to type your question in. So once I've created my question, you're going to click down here where it says Add Correct Answer, and it'll let you add as many correct answers as you want. And this is a little trick that I learned. You have to add a few things that you predict the students might say as correct answers. So they might just say Shaylee, because that would answer the question. They might say Shaylee has more. They might say Shaylee has more pizza. So hopefully they will get one of those 3 answer selections and it'll count it correct. Most of them will probably just put the simple one-word answer, but sometimes they like to type in more for their responses. So if they were to put Shaylee has more and the only correct answer you provided was Shaylee, then it would count that question wrong. So I like to type in a few multiple answers that they could possibly type when they go to take their assessment. So you'll just keep doing that, adding questions. You can add multiple choice, any type of questions you want except for these, because these are premium. Once you have your whole formative created and you're ready for your class to use it in a workstation, or if you're making this as an assessment, you're going to go to Assign/Share. So you'll want to assign it to the class you want. So let's say I'm assigning it to Sample Class. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky with your options that you have. For return scores, if it's a workstation, I click Return Scores instantly. That way, as soon as a student types in an answer, it's going to let them know if they got it right or wrong. But if it's a workstation where it says return correct answers, I just leave it on decide later, because that way students have to keep working out the problem until they see if they got it right or wrong, and they can't just look for a correct answer by submitting the test and getting their answer back. So that's just up to you how you want to do it in your class. If it's an assessment, if you're using it as a test, I would change it to return scores after student submits, and then return correct answers. If you want them to see what the answers should have been, then you can click return after session ends or after student submits. If it's a workstation, return scores instantly, return correct answers, decide later. Enable edits after final submission. I always turn that on because students, if it's a workstation, need to have the ability to work through the problem more than once if they're getting it wrong. So then you're going to click assign. And then one more quick tip, if you want to share this with other teachers, you're going to click on share or collaborate, and you can send them this link, and it will make a copy for them on their GoFormative account so that they can send it to their class, but then it'll keep your classes separate. So that way one person on your team could make the assessment or the workstation work and assign it to their students, but also allow you to copy it so you don't all have to recreate the wheel. So, hope that'll help you get started with GoFormative in your classroom. Always feel free to come see me if you have any questions. I made this using screencasts, so if you have not checked out Miss Lavoie and Anna Hale's section for this Ed Camp, go check it out or talk to them, because screencast is also a great tool.